In this video, we will consider how to build a one-page property flyer. This is a from-scratch case, so we should go to the New Template page and create a printable template built on the property. Let's start with header. Since we intend to use dynamic data there, the first step is adding a collection container where future dynamic elements will be put. The next step is structuring the template by using columns. Visually, our header has 3 sections, so I have added 3 column elements. Then add a static image, since the logo doesn't mean changes. And adjust its size. To adjust the logo's alignment, it's easier to assign a cell a CSS property display and set values in the General tab. The next header section is the name of the property with its address. It's placed in 2 rows, so let's add a 2 columns element. Then change its direction. Reset min height to make the row height depend on the content size. And add the dynamic text bind them to the property name in the first row and the property city, state and zip code in the second row. In the sample, there are commas between address components. We can add commas with static text, however, they will be displayed even if the city and state are missed in the records, which is not relevant. To add a dynamically displayed comma, let's duplicate the city and state text elements and assign them the condition to display a comma if the field is not blank. Thus, every time the corresponding field is filled with the data in the database, the comma will be displayed too. If it's blank, then a database value should be displayed based on the condition, but if it's missed, nothing will be shown. Paddings between values and commas should be adjusted in the Style tab, so the address looks pretty. By default, there is too much space between words and separators. It should be adjusted too. The third header section contains the broker's info. This info is placed in another Salesforce object, so we add a collection container to grab this data. Bind the collection listing broker contact, and add a structural element to position the text correctly. Then reset the min height and add the broker's contact details. That's it, the header is filled. The next step is resetting the container's paddings. The main idea of these paddings is to simplify capturing of the nested elements. However, the paddings should be adjusted depending on the need during the template finalization. Let's set a new font. To speed up the text elements customization, use Ctrl or Command on the keyboard to select several text elements at a time. Let's highlight the name of the property and the name of the broker. Save the template and let's go to the section. From the structural point of view, our template consists of two columns, the left column for the table and the right column for images and maps. Initially, we add a collection container and stretch it to 100% of the section height. Now dynamic elements can be put into the container to grab the data from the property collection. The next step is adding two columns element and also stretching it to 100% of the section height. Let's place the table and bind it to the availability collection. We need only two columns, so let's delete the extra ones. Let's change the table's headers and name the column with the availability name and availability size, and bind the corresponding fields. Let's imagine we want to see only availabilities with available space of more than 1000 square feet. To set such a filter, select the table container and click on the Add Filter button on the Data tab. Find the field, which is our reference point, and set the corresponding condition. And let's sort the results by the availability name in alphabetical order. Let's add the total row. For this, drag the two columns element and adjust it via the Style tab, so it looks like a continuation of the table. The first column is for the name of the row, totals. And the second is for the aggregation element. It should be mapped on the availability collection, as well as the table. The type is sum, and the field is availability area. Let's imagine we need to show not all, but some of the availabilities in this flyer. For example, the first 7 availabilities. Let's set this condition in the Data tab for the table container and for aggregation, since this is also a separate type of collection container. Remove extra table paddings, and let's play around with the number format for availability size. And don't forget about the measurement units. Let's do the same for aggregation. The next is adjusting the positioning of the totals content in the row. Let's assign the same font for all the text and elements in the table. For this, select them and go to the Typography tab. The totals row font weight should have a bigger emphasis. Let's make it bold. The first flyer's column looked great. Let's compose the second one. There are 2 images and 1 map there. So let's use the 3 columns element to structure the column. The first image is primary and can be placed directly into the root collection property. But the second image is a piece of the attachment content, so we put the collection container first, map it on the collection attachment, and then put the image there. And the third is map. The first image, choose primary image content in the Data tab. For the second, the own image content is auto-selected, so can skip the selection. Let's set the filter by the file name to display a particular image among all the attachments. In our case, my file name should contain the 5 suffix in the name. Let's adjust the image sizes. While the Style tab is opened, let's set the size to the map too. I don't know the exact size of all the attachments, but I need the images to be displayed with the aspect ratio. For this, in the Extrude tab, I set object fit equals to cover, so the images with all size will look relevant. While the Style tab is open, I will adjust the paddings of this column. I remain the left padding, so there is a distance between the 2 columns, and the same stuff for the collection container of the second image. Some distance between the images and the map is relevant too. The map should be bound on the location type field. Let's make some adjustment to the map. I want the map to be closer, and the radius should be visible. A 3 km radius distance is enough. I want to highlight the number of Shell gasoline stations around my property. They should be different from the property pin, so let's upload a custom icon for the font amenities. Looks great. Let's decrease their size. Now it's the most relevant view. Final reset of the container's paddings. Seems like that's it. Let's save the changes and generate the preview. Don't forget to activate the header too. Looks pretty similar to the example. However, I forget to paint the header, something is wrong with the totals, and also the font size should be also edited, and the second image extra left padding remains. So let's make some edits. Now looks very close to the original.